Mr. Feenstra of Iowa.
Thank you, Chairman LaHood and Ranking Member Davis, for holding this important hearing. I appreciate all of you witnesses for sharing your expertise in this. This is a concerning situation. I mean, this is very concerning. Fraud often happens out of sight, and we don't find out until the funds have been spent. I say that, until they've been spent. But in this case, fraudulent unemployment funds were being reported to the Biden administration as it was happening. The banks were following strict anti-fraud laws, flagged and they froze accounts when fraud was detected. They then reported the activity to regulators. Then the Biden administration told the regulators, fine banks for not getting the money out fast enough. Blowing past all the stops, just get the money out. Even the Biden-nominated Inspector General at the time warned the hundreds of millions of suspicious funds were sitting in bank accounts and could be lost without swift action, but the Biden administration did nothing. That's why I'm glad that we have a Trump administration and our committee working together to solve this problem. And I want to thank Inspector General D'Esposito. I want to thank you for what you're doing. You're doing a great job.
Thank you,
sir. You noted prosecutors are not moving cases forward. That's a problem. And then you noted extending the statute of limitation, which I think we can do. Is there anything else that we as Congress can do to help these efforts? I mean, this is taxpayer dollars. I mean, this is my money, your money, everybody's money that's being fraudulently taken. What advice do you have to us at what we can do?
Well, thank you very much for the question. It's great to see you. So I think that the work that we're doing is intense, and the collaboration between not only U.S. attorneys' offices, but the collaboration that we are now building with local, state, and obviously our federal partners. I think that having Congress help us to make sure that task forces are something that can be utilized in this specific space is critically important. I think that there are some amendments that have been proposed to the Inspector General's Act that would allow us certain abilities, such like asset forfeiture, which would enable us to forfeit assets and then utilize that funding for much of the resources, technology to supplement some of the funds that we need in our office. I also think that it's important that hearings like this take place, and I want to thank the chairman for putting it together, because not only is it great to have a conversation, but it's also important to let the American people know what is exactly happening. And these hearings need to be about finding solutions to the problem. Like was said, this is not a Republican or a Democrat issue, it's an American issue. And these hearings should be spent more not for the clips on X, but more to actually find the solutions to the problems.
I agree. And thank you for your comments. I look forward to working with you and trying to figure out the solutions. Ms. Miller, you have substantial contacts in the financial service industry. I struggle. The banks are in the middle of this, and the CARES Act UI funds, they're having a hard time returning them because, in essence, they're frozen. So statutory framework, to get the money back, and there's safe harbors, there's liability risk under the consumer protection laws. How do we navigate this, and how do we get the money back?
Yeah, I mean, I think as far as problems go, this one is quite solvable. And I think that's one of the reasons I'm heartened by this hearing today, because this is something that can be done. There is a path. We see where the money is sitting. The financial institutions want to work with the government. They want to work with the states and the federal government to return the money. And what we need to do is, Congress needs to do, and you have the ability to do this, is to provide that pathway for them to do it. We didn't ever experience anything like this before. The banks didn't have this problem before them until the pandemic. And so creating a pathway and protecting them from liability is important. They need certainty. Right now they have uncertainty.
You nailed it. And Mr. Williams, I got 30 seconds left. Can you address that? They need certainty, and they need safeguards, protection laws. How do you see that happening to protect them?
Thank you for the question. I completely agree with the point. And I think it's just really, if there's any perceived conflict, not just now, but in the future, if you operate in a bank regulations change over time. You have to think about the long run. So I think it's less about, hey, at this moment, but yeah, they will absolutely return the funds if asked. Just, you got to protect them down the road as well.
Yep. Thank you, each witnesses. Thank you. I yield back.